This is Narendra from Narendra Technologies. So today's our topic is differences between Linux and Windows NT and features of Linux. So here we have some of the differences between Linux and Windows NT operating system. So the first one is in Linux. The first one is Linux is a open system. Is nothing but Linux is completely open system. Not only executable, is a source code is also is freely available in a industry. But Windows is not open system. Next, Linux is providing the free online support, but Windows NT is not having the free online support. And next, Linux is providing the free source code. That is, the source code is available freely for kernel source code, and Windows NT is not having the free source code. Next, in Linux operating system, we have one of the web server is called as Apache web server. Is a Tomcat Apache web server. But in Windows NT, we have web server name is called as IIS Internet Information Services. Next, in Linux NT we have FTP server is available, and Windows NT also we have FTP server is available. Next, in Linux we have some of the software is called as telnet software to be communicating remote systems, and Windows NT is not having this telnet software. Next, the Linux is providing the complete development environment like C, C++ compilers, GTK, TCL, TK and scripting languages. But whereas in Windows is not having this type of development environment. So these are additional softwares. User must be install all this kind of softwares when it is required. Next, in Linux operating system we have the some software is called as Perl, is nothing but practical extracting reporting language. In Windows NT it is not available. Next, Linux is supporting X Windows GUI environment software. Is the main purpose is called as to be running the remote GUI based applications, but in Windows NT it is not available in Windows NT operating system. Next, the features of Linux operating system, where we have one of the feature is called multi-user. So the Linux operating system is a multi-user operating system. Is nothing but multi-user means more than one user can be shared at the same time. Is nothing but the system resources can be shared by the multiple number of users. The system resources like hard disk resources, or it's a CD disk resources, or printer resources, or pen drive resources, or some other software resources which are available in the Linux server, which can be shared by the multiple number of users who are interacting with the Linux server here. Next one is multitasking. So multitask means job application. Multiple number of applications can be open at a time, but only one application can be interact by the user at the same time. So the Linux operating system is capable of carrying more than one job at a time at the same time. Say let us for example, you might be given earlier some command in the command prompt to execute your program. Meanwhile, while execution of your program, instead of wasting the time, you can open your editor and you can type your program also. So this is another advantage, another feature of the Linux operating system. Next, we have another one is called programming facility. The Linux operating system is providing one of the programming facility is called as shell, nothing but shell script programming language. Shell works like a programming language, is also called as scripting programming language here. So shell is takes the list of commands. So shell is nothing but providing some list of commands and giving that is to the kernel, and kernel will be interacting with the hardware. Next, we have another feature is called as portability. Portability is nothing but adjustability. So the Linux operating system, one of the main reason for the universal popularity, that it can be ported to almost any computer system. So with only the minimum adoptions to shoot have given the computer architecture. Next one is called communication. Communication is nothing but sharing the information between one system to the another system. So the Linux is providing some communication concept is called as electronic mailing concept. The communication may be within the networks, a single computer, or between the two or more such computer networks. The user can easily exchange the mail or data or program through such networks. The Linux operating system is able to be communicating the information between one system to another system between 2 feet to the 2000 miles. Next, another feature of Linux is called, it is providing a security. Is nothing but is providing the three types of securities is called. First one is system level securities. System level securities is nothing but in the environment of multi-user operating system environment, each and every system will have their own username and password to be interact with your Linux operating system to share n number of people, which is providing by the system administrator for each and every user, that is username and password. Second one is called as file level securities. So whatever the files which are going to stored in our Linux system, say for example you are sitting in one client system and you are storing some files in our server. So your file should have some kind of security, so that you can provide some kind of security for your files. That securities are called as read, write and execution permission. You can give your file, that is only reading permission or only writing permission or only execution permission to the some other user who want to be interact or who want to be share your file to some other user. Next one is encryption security, file encryption security. Whatever your file information is there, that it can be stored into the encryption model in your Linux operating system, Linux server mechanism. So encryption is nothing but is an ununderstandable format. Next, we have another feature is called as open system. The source code for the Linux system and not just the executable code has been made available to users and programmers. It's nothing but complete is a Linux operating system is a completely open system. It's not only executable software, is a completely the kernel source code is also is providing is a freeware into the industry, which can be used by the all users or maybe the programmers. This is another advantage with Linux operating system, is another feature of Linux operating system. Next one is we have another feature is called system calls. So whenever user is interacting with the kernel through the programming, so there are some hundreds of system calls are available here. What is meant by system call? System call will be going to telling to the kernel to carry out various tasks for the programmer. So your system call will be going to asking or telling to the kernel to carry out various tasks for the programmer. Say for example, if you are writing some C program, in C program or C++ program, you can use some system call. That system call will be going to contact with your kernel to execute that kind of functionality, such as you might be required to opening the file or may be required to writing a file or obtaining the information from the file, executing a program, terminating a process, creating a process, changing the priority of the process and getting the time of the day. So this type of things, whatever we used to call opening the file or creating the file, reading the data from the file, writing a data into the file, for these purposes we require some kind of predefined functionalities. These functionalities are called as a system calls. There are some hundreds kind of system calls is providing along with your Linux operating system, which can be used by the any programmer called as C or C++ programmer can be used this kind of system calls according to the requirement. So next we have another feature is called as help facility. So the Linux operating system is going to providing the manual pages for the commands. So you can get some help for the commands which are available, the commands which are providing in Linux operating system. So using that command you can get some help. So that is we have command is available in Linux operating system called as man command, which is used to be getting the help for the particular command. So these are some list of features of Linux operating system. So once you just review this concept here. So Linux operating system main feature is called as multi-user management feature and multitasking management feature. So then we have another feature is called as communication feature. Then we have another feature is called as a programming facility feature and portability feature, multitasking feature and security feature, open system feature, and we have another feature system calls and help facility. So using these features, the Linux is one of the most powerful operating system in industry. So users, if you like this video, please like and share, and for more updates please subscribe our channel. So the next video will be going to coming with in our Linux operating system, types of files and file system architecture, and basic commands in Linux operating system, how to operate your Linux operating system. So thank you all.